Okay, guys, we are good to go. Thank you so much for joining us, Dave. Like you said already, I mean, obviously you can be more excited, and I really appreciate you being on this with me, making it work with y'all's crazy busy schedule. Guys, we have so much going on with TRADEway right now that's all incredible. But even still, we had to set aside this time specifically for showing you guys something that you've been waiting to see for a month at this point, Dave. It's been literally a month since you and I did the announcement webinar.
Yep.
I think all of our friends out there know that this was coming, and now it's here. We're going to introduce it to you guys in a number of ways, including your first demo of our very own charting platform here shortly. So Dave,
well, it's like Bezod said in the chat. He said, this is uncharted territory.
it really is. I mean, it is for TRADEway, guys. I mean, this very well could be one of the biggest moments for all of us, whether you're a team member of TRADEway like Dave and myself, or a student of TRADEway. Some of you have been with us for a decade or more. I mean, this is the kind of stuff where, you know, it literally is a game changer. And I think you guys are going to see as we go through not only the demo, but just some of the kind of sneak peeks of what this platform has to offer, how this can be a game changer for all of you guys, whether you're a brand new student with us or have been with us for over a decade.
Yep. Well, so I guess we need to start getting going here, right? So we have some people to introduce. We got some people to introduce, right? So let's talk about the coaches.
So listen, guys, here's the thing. We've got a large team on with us today. We have a huge number of our students, all of you guys out there coast to coast. It's a huge crowd we've got on today, and it's awesome. We've also got a large TRADEway team on with us today as well, which is really cool. This is a little bit different than most webinars or virtual events we do. So a lot of our TRADEway coaches are out there in the background. You're going to be hearing from them through the chat, through the Q&A feature. They're going to be answering your questions, sharing some of their thoughts as we go through all of this. So be watching in the chat for, you know, our coaches popping in here and there. They're on with us, and they are going to be having a blast with us as well. Now, in addition to our coaches, though, guys, we've got some folks that we're going to be introducing to you for the first time, some folks that you're not acquainted with just yet, but are going to become well acquainted with pretty shortly. And it's a team of developers that have helped us build, create, and now implement Charts by TRADEway, this platform we've been talking about. We have a team, you're going to see them on with us as well, Lori Walker, Steve Woodis, Rand Smashek of a company called iVest Plus that have helped us develop this charting software. Now, Dave, I want to specifically talk a little bit about Rand Smashek for a second, because this is the lead developer of our charting platform. And so listen, guys, you're our students, you know us well, you know our system, you know our education, and you know the implications that a TRADEway charting platform carry. You know that we are going to be approaching it in a way that we can integrate with our education, so that this is a totally different kind of experience than you've ever had before when it comes to using specifically a charting platform. And this is the guy we went to help us deliver exactly that. This guy is the president founder of iVest Plus. This is the company, again, that helped us develop, build, and now implement Charts by TRADEway. He not only is a developer, not only is a trader, but he's a seasoned market educator. He's incredibly passionate about providing traders across the country with the tools, the insights, with the platform that is needed to succeed in the best way possible. So carry that over into the TRADEway platform, implement our system, or infuse our system, our educational system, into that, and imagine what that could look like for you guys. You guys, raise your hand. Have you ever heard of TD Ameritrade? Anyone out there familiar with TD Ameritrade? Maybe a few of you have heard of that. We have a lot of hands going up. So just a little bit of this guy's background, just a little bit of Rance's background, which is he has a vast resume that we could spend a lot of time talking about. But just to give you guys a sneak peek, just a little sliver of what his background looks like. He served as the director of options for TD Ameritrade. He's served as the director of brokerage integration and the director of trade architecture, all for TD Ameritrade, as well as a number of other things that he's accomplished throughout his career, both as a trader, as an educator. What do you have a thought?
Yeah, let me just say, like, Rance has a very unique perspective because he has worked at almost from every angle of the market. Like, he's been on the floor, a floor trader, right? He's worked with brokerage firms. He's been a teacher, like an instructor. He's also been a student at some point. So, like, He can look at this from every angle. And then God gave him this ability to also program software through those lenses. So there is no other person on the planet that I believe would exist that could be a better fit for helping us develop this software than Rance. So I'm very happy to have Rance on with us. Rance, you want to say hi? I see you're on there right now.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm feeling a little, hopefully I can live up to the expectations here that you've built for us. But we look forward to working with the students here. Your team, has been great to do this. The insight that you've provided and that, the information, that we've brought to the table, I think we've developed something here that's really special. And I'm looking so forward to being able to share this with everybody and show what we have here. So it's a very cool setup.
It truly is something special, and you guys certainly live up to the introductions here, Rance. So no worries about that at all. And everyone will see that here just a little bit. Remember, guys, Rance, he's our developer, and he's going to be the one to give you the very first demo ever of Charts by TRADEway. That's coming for sure. Now, before we do that, what we want to do, Dave and I, is kind of give you guys just a little bit of a background behind the creation of charts, kind of, what we're going to be doing with it and what you guys can expect as you become more acquainted with it. So it's all about customization. It's all about being student centric. That is with you guys in mind. I mean, think about it. You guys are well familiar with our education. We want to take that exact same approach and infuse it into this platform, which we've done. You have charting, you have trading, and you guys are going to have access to one of the most unique journaling systems integrated within the charts that you've ever seen before. And again, we'll show you guys how to do this. So with these integrated tools comes better coaching. So again, that is, the approach we're taking here. This entire platform was built with you guys, all of our students out there, whether you were brand new or been with us for 10, 15 years, because some of you have been. We built it with you in mind. We want to equip our coaches to provide you with an even better education, an even better way to mentor, kind of a mentoring experience for you guys than we've ever done that before. That is how we built this platform. These are all the things that we took into consideration while building this platform. Now, Dave, I'm pretty sure you put this in the presentation. This could have been you.
Yes.
If you guys remember from our announcement, literally jumping through the roof in excitement, has been for this.
This is literally how I feel. I may have been questioned if I had just asked to put this in, so I'm asking for forgiveness rather than permission. So, this is exactly how I feel when it comes to launching something of such magnitude, because it's just like what Ben said. We didn't just develop this with you guys in mind. We developed it with your lives in mind, right? Like, you have busy lives and you're trying to fit trading into that life. Well, trading style is dictated by lifestyle so much, right? And so anytime we can streamline the trading process to better fit your lifestyle, it will improve your trading style. And so that's what we're hoping will happen here. We have an all-in-one, like a one-stop shop program here that allows you to do everything you need to do to trade. It literally gives you the ability to do your fundamental analysis, your market tone analysis, your technical analysis. You can do all three legs of the trading table all in one place. And it's awesome. I see you guys blowing up the chat. Thank you for doing that, because I like to see that y'all are as excited about this as I am. Man, I wish we were in a room together. We'd all be jumping up and down, but I've got lots of noise here. I'm in an airport. That's why I've got my headphones on. So yeah, so let's start talking. Let's show them a little bit about what charts is all about.
Yeah. So first of all, Dave Hardy gave you guys a pretty great breakdown right off the bat there of kind of what we want to accomplish here. All in one place. We want you guys to be able to train. In other words, learn with us. Gives us the opportunity to educate you guys within the platform itself. Tracking your trades, that's where journaling comes into play. And of course, the trade itself. We're going to show you guys it is actually possible to place your trades within the charting platform. all in one place. That's literally literally what we accomplish here with this platform. Now, what we're going to do, guys, is we're about to give you, before we hand it over to Rance and let him do a more detailed demo, we're actually going to give you guys 10 specific reasons why we believe moving over to Charts by TRADEway will be the absolute best experience for you guys as traders, not only from the charting component or the charting aspect of things, but also, again, the learning, the education, the training, the tracking, and again, trading within the platform itself. So you guys see some awesome reasons right there, right off the bat, some awesome things we accomplished there, access to TRADEway, watch list, coaches notes, all this kind of stuff. What we're going to do now is give you guys, again, a little bit more detailed kind of top 10, if you will. And so we're going to start with one of the things we're most excited about, and that is trade journaling. Now, what this will do, guys, not only will it allow you to journal your trades as you go through them, but you can actually share your journey as you go through it. So you can actually share your thoughts. You can see coaches' thoughts as well on various trades.
Yeah, think of it like this, right? Like, remember when we used to say, send us your last 10 trades, right?
Yeah.
Like, how many times have we said that, guys, you're not sure what you did wrong in your trading last week or last month, you didn't experience the profits you were hoping to experience, and you call a coach. Coach says, hey, send me your last 10 trades. What do? You go hop into an Excel spreadsheet and you start typing out all your trades from the last month. Hopefully you've journaled them the whole way along. Maybe you missed typing in something important, right? And you go, I missed a trade. None of that's going to be a problem now. Now, all of your trades are automatically journaled in your charting software. So at the click of a button, you can share the last 10 trades. It's going to be awesome. It's just going to make life way easier, and you have less work on you, and you can just focus on improving the trading. It'll give you great insight into your trades.
Speaking of making things easier on you, you guys remember, raise your hand if you at any point in your trading journey have had to download David Mitchell settings and incorporate that into your charting platform. Raise your hand really quick. The hands are going up so fast. I don't know if I've ever seen it, like literally almost the entire crowd, hundreds and hundreds of people just raised their hand. Yes, the David Mitchell settings, while in and of itself was always an awesome tool, we were well aware that it was somewhat of a cumbersome process getting it downloaded. And of course, then you had to update it, every so often, once a month or so. Well, guess what, guys? With our new platform, you have TRADEway chart settings. This literally means automatic David Mitchell settings. If they're updated, it's updated across the board for all of you. You guys don't have to do anything anymore. No longer do you have to go download David Mitchell settings, upload it into version 7 once a month to see all the new lines, to see all the new watch lists. We actually can do that automatically for you guys within this platform to make the user experience that much more convenient, save you guys that much more time. And again, it's all automatic. And what kind of goes along with that are the watch lists themselves. So as you guys remember, are well aware that how David Mitchell settings works, it has all of the secondary indicators built in and all that kind of stuff, some hotkeys. It has like the lines and things like that. But there's also a number of watch lists as well. So that is obviously going to carry over. TRADEway watch list, you got the A+ watch lists, all the ones you're already
$30 go now, right? $30 or less. And not only that, but as our people start going through the education and saying, taking additional courses, some of those higher level study groups, you start having new watch lists that you looking through the study group. All of a sudden, the more you do with TRADEway, the more your charts software is going to grow with that. It's going to be.
Exactly. So in addition to the watch list that you guys are already familiar with, we will be able to publish new watch lists for any given strategy, depending on where you're at. Like depending on the strategies you have access to. If we want to publish a watch list for that specific strategy, we can do it, and it's just right there. So in addition to the ones you guys are familiar with, we can publish new ones as well. And so the TRADEway watch list is going to be one, again, it'll save you guys a lot of time, and it will allow you guys to just hop in there and take a look at these really quickly. Now, this one is interesting. Set up your trades like the coaches do. Essentially, think about this for a second. Have you ever, a lot of you guys out there may be a Jeffrey Nance fan, a Jared Russell fan, Ben Russell fan, Blair Nightingale fan, Pop, Dave Senior, Dave Huber, that's on with us today. We have a number of coaches, right? Pete Bright, David Verbruggen. We have so many coaches out there, and a lot of you guys, you like their trading styles. Maybe you gravitate toward their trading style, or you're just intrigued or about like maybe what their process looks like, how the way they set up trades. You will actually be able to see how guys like Coach Jeffrey, for example, sets up a trade or sets up a chart. Coach Jared, you can see how he sets up a chart. You guys will be able to do that within this platform. And it's really
just to add to that, let me add to that real quick. There's also account following, right? There's the ability for us to place online study group trades, right? You're sitting in an online study group and you go, man, we were discussing this trade last night. I wonder if we're actually going to place it. No more waiting for an email to come in, right? Like there will be a way to follow coaches' accounts, right? So that you can see when the coach places the trade. That's next level, guys. So all of a sudden, I can't give away too much because we've got something else we're going to talk about a little bit later, but all of a sudden, you have the ability to follow each other's account. You can follow coaches' accounts. So if you can follow coaches' accounts, you can see when coaches do trades. It's awesome.
Absolutely, Dave. And here's a really interesting thing that I think will pique y'all's interest quite a bit. And that is, in addition to seeing how the coaches are approaching certain charts, maybe even certain trades that they may or may not execute depending on what's going on. Let's say you guys see something that looks great. You can actually trade, and we already alluded to this, but you can actually trade from the chart. So if you guys, as you guys are familiar with already, regardless of which platform you have, depending on which platform you may already have, you chart on the platform, then you go over to another web address for your brokerage account or whatever it may be, maybe, obviously different logins. There's a number of variables that come into play when actually executing a trade. Well, at this point, that's no longer an issue because you guys will be able to link your brokerage account directly into the platform so that you can execute the trades from the chart itself. It's all in one place, like we've mentioned a couple of times. So again, we come back to this theme of wanting it to be as user-friendly, as much of an experience as you can have, and saving you guys time. So obviously, when you're ready to hit the buy button or the sell button, when you're ready to execute a trade, it's going to be all in one place. And of course, we'll be walking you guys through how to do all that as we demo these things out for you. Now, that's the first 5 reasons. What else we got here? The three-legged analysis, three-legged table that you guys are so familiar with: technical analysis, fundamental analysis, market tone. Again, it is all in one place. So you guys will be able to see the news on your stock. You guys will be able to see the chart. You guys will be able to see if the company or the stock, the ticker symbol that you are looking at, is fundamentally sound or not. You'll be able to see all of it right there on the charts. And I mean, this is the kind of stuff that we've never been able to deliver in such a succinct format that allows you to literally see everything you need in one spot, the click of a button here and there, depending on like which page within the platform you want to look at. So you get all the information you need and feel confident as you execute those trades. Go ahead, Dave.
And it will take it another step further, which Grants will show you in the demo. You're going to see that this is not just going to give you a way to do fundamental analysis. It's going to give you the ability to beef up your fundamental analysis. It's going to give you a way to do better market tone analysis. It's going to give you a way to do better, it's all about improving not just the learning experience, but also like the trading experience, the analysis experience, like all the things you have to do. It's all designed to be improved by this software.
So you guys may remember, my dad, David Mitchell, going back as long as I can remember, he's always talked about the three-legged table, and he has mentioned that it's possible to learn the three-legged table, but certain aspects of it, certain legs of the table, take longer than others to master. And of course, we put a heavy focus on the technical analysis early on from step 1. And we do a lot of the number crunching for you guys. And we have in the past for the fundamentals, the stock basket and all that kind of stuff. And then he has always mentioned how market tone is as important as it is. It can take a long time to master, to get really good at it. So what we've done, guys, is we have delivered the three-legged table essentially in this platform in a way to allow you guys to implement it in a much easier way, in a way where you guys can actually see the numbers in a very, very user-friendly fashion where okay, this is what this company looks like. This is how strong or weak it is. Again, same with market tone. It's all built in a way that'll allow you guys to do it and cut that learning curve back quite a bit from the way things have, worked in the past, the way we've approached market tone, fundamental analysis, and all that kind of stuff. It's all still there, but it's built into this platform in a way where you can just visually see it and know what's going on. And again, we'll show you guys how to do that. Now, we've always talked about the importance of building your confidence through practice trading, paper trading, however you want to put it. We're going to make that a lot easier on you guys as well. So we've taught you guys before how to do paper trading in a number of ways. Well, with this platform, you guys are going to be able to back test your trades. You're going to be able to do a lot of different types of practice trading before you risk any money. Or if you guys are already traders, if you guys have already executed a number of trades in the past, but maybe you want to test out a new strategy a little bit before diving into it, this platform will allow you guys to practice those strategies on the charts, whether it be through a virtual or a manual account. You guys will be able to choose, and we'll show you guys how to do that in a little bit, of course, in our demos that are coming up. You guys have access to it. It's one of the best reasons to use this platform because it'll allow you to practice our strategies within the TRADEway platform, which of course is integrated with the strategies, the education itself themselves.
Rance will get a little bit more into this too, I'm sure, but there's even a next level to this. So you've got paper trading, which is a way to analyze what has happened in the past. But Charts by TRADEway also includes trade staging. All right, which is a way to analyze what could happen if I place this trade. What happens if the stock goes to here in the future? Think about what that means, right? Like being able to stage a trade and look into the future and say, what would the profit look like? What's my risk analysis look like as the trade progresses, even before it happens? Like, it does not get much better than that. Like we're talking next level.
Again, guys, it's going to be one of the coolest aspects of just furthering y'all's education and helping you build your confidence. And it's all right there within the platform. Now, this one is really cool. And of course, you guys, this is kind of a given. I mean, you guys may have even thought this one through first, but being our own platform, the platform itself is going to grow, become more robust as we grow as an organization with you guys right there along with us. So think about it. It's our platform. Okay, we're working with this awesome team that you're going to get to know more and more, headed up by Rance. We get to work with this team to make the changes, make any additions we need to make our education and our support, the whole experience, even better. Think about it, guys. We roll out, new strategies every so often. Our coach Jared Russell just rolled out his newest strategy, Steady Flight, just a few weeks ago. As we roll out new things, new strategies, new things for you guys to add to your tool belt, if you will, we can adapt the platform to go along with it so that you have it right there as we move forward. So even though what you guys are about to see is already incredibly robust, we are going to be able to adapt. We're going to be able to change and grow as the needs of you guys out there and us here at TRADEway grow as well. So obviously that's a huge reason to this platform. The platform itself grows with TRADEway because it's our platform. So we certainly wanted to highlight that because that's going to come into play later down the road. Now, just getting down to the nitty gritty here, for you guys as individual traders, you can customize the platform however you want. You got light theme, dark theme, other options even beyond that. You guys are going to be able to customize it quite a bit to make it fit your unique style. So what's cool about it is as you guys join the platform for the first time, you guys will be able to see exactly what we see, even if you want it to be exactly like a specific coach or whatever it may be. But you will, as time goes on, develop that unique style that is different from anyone else's, including all of our coaches, including David Mitchell, and you'll be able to make the charts look exactly how you want them to look that meets your needs the best. And obviously that's going to be a big plus as you guys move forward. And then the final one here is extensive note taking. So auto journaling is something that is actually built into the platform so that it makes keeping your trades tracked and organized every single day as simple as possible. So you guys will actually be able to execute trades and do things. And there's a type of auto journaling that we have built in so that you will actually be able to go back and analyze your past trades without having to physically like open up a document and journal your trades like we've done in the past. So that is a huge plus as well. These are the kinds of things that we're going to be walking you guys through how to do. So don't worry, we're just giving you the high points here so you can see how exciting this platform is going to be for you guys.
So two things real quick.
Yeah.
So we talked about watch list as one of the top 10, right? One thing we didn't even mention, but I know that Rance will show you is in the platform is scans, right? Like we actually have the ability to do trade scans. So you are looking not just for stocks, right? So you have filters. Filters allow you to basically get down to a certain list of stocks, but then you have scans that allow you to not just find a list of stocks that meet a certain criteria, but actually begin to perform complex mathematical equations on those stocks to fine tune and find specific plays, right? So for instance, Jeffrey in particular, I see you're on here, Jeffrey Nance, right? Would it be helpful? You tell me, would it be helpful if you just had a scan that could find all the upside earnings announcements for news moves, right? And B, find upside earnings announcements that create a gap, right? So that not only is it an announcement that's upside earnings surprise, but there's a gap so that you can find the news move trades. Would that be helpful, Coach Jeffrey? You're muted.
It certainly could for certain strategies there, Dave.
Well, and one of the strategies that you teach is news moves, right?
Indeed.
And so having the ability to just find trades that are specifically suited for the news moves, and then one of your favorite things to do is kind of complement news moves with power spreads, right? So if you had two scans, one for news moves, one for power spreads, where you say, all right, the news move isn't working. How do we turn this into a power spread? Is it still a good candidate for that? A scan can help you with that. Don't you agree?
It certainly could, Dave.
You cracked me up. All right, last thing here. So last thing is trade staging, being able to not just look at the past for paper trading, but also looking into the future and saying what could happen if this trade goes my favor. Coach Jared, what do you believe is the power of trade staging?
Well, it speaks to planning, right? I mean, if you're even mentally in your own mind, if you're not building a picture of what that trade can do for you, then you're not planning it, right? So staging the trade, researching the trade is all a piece of planning. I was about to say, I don't think you can plan too much. You can plan too much because if you plan so much you don't act, it's a problem. But
analysis paralysis, right?
But I do think planning is something that lacks in a lot of traders who are trying to develop consistency. So staging trades is a key.
Nice. Okay, so I mean, you guys can see there's all kinds of stuff, right? There's all kinds of great stuff in this charting software. There's one more bonus reason we want to give, right, Benjamin?
Oh yeah. That's the top 10, but we wanted to throw this in for you guys as well, because especially for those of you familiar with the TC2000 platform, you know, it doesn't adapt too well to mobile, to tablets, things like that. Well, with this platform, you're going to be able to use it on any device, and not too long down the road, we're actually going to be launching a mobile app version of the platform. So for you smartphone users out there, we need the GIF backup, Dave. For those smartphone users out there, you got a tablet, something like that, you download the mobile app. That'll be down the road. But even now, on the on the browser-based platform, you guys will be able to use it on any device. It is adaptable. And so that's the bonus reason. But yes, those are some huge reasons why this platform can really be set apart from others. And specifically, I can say that with confidence, specifically because of how linked it all is to the way we do things, to our education, to the way our coaches present, to the way that we want you guys to be able to see what we are seeing in the easiest way possible. So as TRADEway students, specifically, there is no doubt that this platform is set apart drastically from any other platform you've ever used before. And again, you guys will see that more and more as we begin the demoing. Now, Dave, let's talk for a second about how people can get access to this charting platform. How are you guys going to even be able to see it for the first time?
Yeah, so that's one of the things that you guys have been chomping at the bit for the past month. How much does this cost, right? How much am I going to have to pay to get charts by TRADEway? And so we've been working on some special things for you guys. You know that for the better part of the two, 3, 4 months, we've been saying get into memberships. It's the most cost-effective way to pick up charts by TRADEway in the future. We've said you want to be a part of the membership program. If you were thinking about becoming a member and you hadn't done it yet, it's time to do it, right? And so many of you took us up on that offer. We did a Black Friday sale. Lots of you got the 6 months for the price of 4 months. A great offer. And for those of you who did that, we want you to know that this is no small thing to us. This is a big deal. And we promised you we give you an incredible discount on Charts by TRADEway. So for those of you who are legacy members, that's anyone who's a member right now, right? As of today, if you are a member of Insider Plus, Trader Max, Trader Pro, if you have one of those, you are currently a legacy member. Congratulations, guys. Pat yourself on the back. You did a great job of becoming a member, and we want to give you a great big thank you for that. So for all of 2022, Charts by TRADEway will be included in your membership at no charge for all of 2022. That means you guys are going to get onboarded onto Charts by TRADEway. You actually get first access. Got some wows, got some claps, got some woohoos. I love it. Yes. I told you there is reason to be excited, right? So you're going to get that for all of 2022 at absolutely no charge, just because you are a legacy member. Thank you so much for being a part of TRADEway memberships. That means a lot to us. We are going to continue to work ourselves to the bone to make sure that you get the most out of those memberships. And yes, you're welcome. So we're super excited for you. Now, here's what's going to happen. We're going to begin onboarding our legacy members to the Charts by TRADEway software. So I'm sure you'll start seeing some, hey, you've got access emails coming into your email box pretty soon. When that happens, just start playing around with the software, guys, right? If you have any questions, then you know what to do. Pick up the phone, email, right? Get into the community pages, ask us questions. That's what we're here for, to help you out. But we know that this tool is so great. We said we have got to get it into everybody's hands. And this is one of the best ways we think we can do it. I mean, you're not going to say no to free, right? So you get this for all of 2022, and we want you to try it out and just enjoy the software. Get used to using it. It's going to be a little different than what you're used to, right? You're gonna have some adjustment there. So this gives you some time to adjust to a new trading platform, a new charting software, learn all the bells and whistles. But we're not going to stop there, because we're also going to do a demo today. Rance is here for that purpose. So that's how. You
froze up just a little bit there, Dave.
Yeah, that's what happens when your office is the coffee shop. Right?
Exactly. We're going to stop his video for him. And while he's kind of getting his bandwidth back together over there, I just want to touch on a couple things you just said. So first of all, for those of you who are legacy members, you know, we've been talking about you getting discounted price, right? Like the best price for charts than anyone else will ever get. That is still true. So let's just like fast forward 2-3 years down the road. If you are still a legacy member, you will still get that discounted price. But what we didn't tell you guys about until today is that for the entire calendar year of 2022, you don't even have to pay the discounted price. It is just included with your legacy membership. So
yeah, by the way, they didn't tell you that till this morning. They didn't tell me that until this morning. So just
that's
as
right, guys. That was we wanted a little bit of a mic drop moment. We wanted something that really, because think about it for a second. We gave you guys, we told you you'd be getting a discounted price. You guys were first movers. You invested in our education just based on what you guys have seen for the last month. we want to show you our appreciation in the biggest way possible. And this is one of them for sure. So yes, Rance, big news, big deal for everybody. And of course, we couldn't be more excited about that. And so, yeah. And obviously that's big for a lot of reasons, so you guys, again, you'll be onboarded. Now, the last thing I want to say really fast, just kind of piggyback on what Dave was saying, is he mentioned, you're going to be onboarded. You'll get, like a welcome email saying that you can log in and all that kind of stuff. And he said, you'll get in there and start playing with it. Well, everything he said is true. You can email us with your questions. We have an awesome support system set up for this platform. But I just want to say, you guys are going to be getting some really helpful tutorials as you are onboarded. You'll be able to watch them. It'll help you get just the basics down so that not only you get in there and start playing with the platform, but you'll be able to do so in a pretty confident manner right off the bat. So you'll have awesome tutorials and things like that. And then beyond that, of course, our team is going to be here all along the way to help you guys out. So with that being said, Rance, I think I would like to go ahead and pass it on over to you. I'm going to end my screen share and we can begin this demo.
Right.
And I know this is what everyone's been looking forward to, and I certainly have myself. So what do you say we get started with it?
I look forward to it.
All right. It's yours.
Let's see, go to right there. All right. So we there we go. Should have my screen up. Is that correct?
Looks good.
All right. So this is Charts by TRADEway. Now, we had a little discussion internally about the name Charts by TRADEway because we felt that it was, I felt that it was underselling what's on this. However, it's an easy way to have people understand what the concept behind this is. So we just went with that. We did go with that, but there's a lot to this platform. What I want to share with you in the brief time we have is what's possible in the platform. This is not a training session on how to. We have those coming up. So I want to get into the possibilities of what you can do here a little more today than this being instructional. So first off, I want to just say that one of the things that was said earlier here about this was, we all have a life, and the trading is an addition thing. It's not a full-time job for the vast majority of us. So we designed this with that in mind. And there's a lot of workflow design in the platform. So first off, when you first come in, what this is what we call our market page. This gives you an idea of what's going on with the major indices. You can look at this a couple different ways here to see what's happening. You see here advanced declines and 52-week high lows and all that. Over on the right-hand side here, you have a picture of what's going on in each of the sectors. Things are up pretty strong today. And, in all the sectors, literally. And then down below here, you have literally the industry groups and what's going on there. And then you can even drill down into those. I'm seeing, oh, this was up quite a bit today, vehicles and parts. So let me go into that. And, I can see exactly what in there is going up and, what the stocks are and all that. So it gives me a really quick overview of what's happening in the market. And then right here in the middle is your watch lists. Although we also have a full page view of watch lists. I'm going to get to that in a moment here. And then, so the idea here is what's going on in the market, what's going on with your stocks, and then finding opportunities to be able to trade. We have several ways to be able to do that as well. And then you research those, your watch list stocks and those new finds that you have through the research section here. And then from that, you trade those and then you manage those to your portfolio through that. So it's literally just kind of go right down that list in those 5 steps each morning and, get your day moving and keep on going, right? So it's really designed with that kind of workflow idea in mind. So with that, let me just give you a couple of quick overview points that on what we've got designed here for you. One of the things that came up was this idea of the watch list and being able to follow along with what you have your own list, but there's also the list that that TRADEway has for you. And just to show you this, if I click on my watch list names up here, you can see these are all of my personal lists. Of course, we have the most actives, gainers, losers, all that stuff, but we also have the system list. So the $30 or less, A plus. We even have one for indices here, and these are managed by us for you. So if I go into my 30 or less, here are the stocks that are on that. And You can add any of these to your existing watch list you want to in a real easy click and done thing. However, we will manage this particular, any of these system lists we manage for you. So there'll be new ones coming on, old ones coming up. You'll have new lists coming on as you progress through the education and so on. So it's a way, in fact, I'll tell you, in the design of this, one of the big things here was they wanted two platforms in one. They wanted you to have a great trading platform, and they wanted to be able to influence what you're seeing in dynamic real-time ways. And we've, that's what we've built in and accomplished with that. And that's one of the ways to be able to do that right there. So let's just take a stock here off of my list on this. And by the way, the score, I'm going to get into that in just a minute, but I'm going to go down here and look for, here we go. We have Chemtech. The reason I clicked on that was it had a green technical score, right? And more on this in just a second, but I just go in and look at this. And this is my quick overview. This lets me look at that 3-point analysis in a really quick way. So I've got my technical analysis. This is my fundamentals. Fundamentals we break into two areas here for you. Fundamentals itself, which is the numbers, and then valuation, which are the key ratios. Still part of fundamentals, but we break those out so you can see those in two separate ways. And now you look at this on fundamentals, just to show you a little bit of the design here that really helps you be able to absorb quickly. I've got a single point color here for a fundamental, right? That kind of rolls all this up. But then I come in here and I look at these different areas and I get to see these little lights, sales, asset, equity, and net growth are all kind of flat, but the margins are getting better here. Cash flow is a little bit tight. So you could see all of these things going on, good earnings trend going on, actual earnings a little weak, right? So that gives me a quick little light bulbs of what's going on, but I can go into this and now I can actually see the trend in each of these areas and see, that how sales growth is happening, right? So we've seen some growth. It's kind of leveled out a little bit, which is why it's neutral, yellow right now there, but we're seeing good growth in profit margin, right? So we get to see that right away. Down here, we have earnings information, just to let you know that large green bar is the estimate. So we have the December estimate. We don't know the December actual yet, but then that bar, that in this case, tall bar here, where they really beat their number, they hit 65 cents instead of 34 cents, right? So that's the actual earnings. So you get that comparative right away. You also get to see what the price targets are and all that stuff right there. And I'll tell you though, if you really want to dive in and notice how this is simple, clean screen, but if you really want to dive in, the information's here. I can actually go in and look at the P&L statements or the balance sheets and all that stuff. And most of you guys aren't going to go do that, but we have to have this to be able to roll up to that overview. So we provide you the information if you want it anyway, but we've done it in a way that everything is layered. So I can get a quick view, be able to do my analysis fast. And then if I want to do a deeper dive, I can. But one of the areas that, and I know you lean very heavy on technical analysis. So I want to show you some things on the charting and the chart capabilities here within the platform in the few minutes we have on this. So first of all, this is a basic clean chart. Well, one of the things that we're talking about here was that, really what you have here are some things that they do for you. They talk about how to set certain things up, and us here at TRADEway, we talk about setting certain things up. Well, if I go in here, everything above this line are charts that we create for you. So here I have my 10, 20, and 50-day EMAs. So if I click on that, bam, there they are. Right there's those EMAs. And I can quickly see what's going on with it. And the colors are even exactly set up the way. So now if you have, you're on one of the coach sessions and they're talking about, well, when the red line crosses up through the blue line, that's, our buy indication. It's going to be the same thing on yours. Now, once you have this chart, you can take and make any customizations you want. You could save it as your own, but the system charts will always be here so that you're seeing things the way we're seeing things. And if we make a change, it's instantly updated on your charts as well for these system charts, right? So it's a way that we can influence what you're seeing so that you're seeing things the way we see things. There's also all sorts of tools in here for you. Like I can have, here's my drawing tool here. I can draw my lines here. So if I want to draw a trend line, I can quickly be able to do that. I could even draw it off. You notice how the chart extends here for me. So I could draw it right there off the chart. And I go, oh, wait a minute, I didn't quite get that the way I wanted it. I can actually, even after I've done it, I can still modify those and change those around. So if let's go throw a support line on here. We'll go right here for support. I go, I want to move that. I think I want to look at a different level of support here. So I'm going to go up to this one. I can make those changes. And the thing is, if I go to a different stock and then I come back to this stock, that's still going to be there. If I log off, I'm at work, I look at it, I log in back at home, it's going to be there. Those lines will be there until you choose to get rid of them. You also have all sorts of edit capabilities on them where I can go and change the line width, the color, so on, and all that. And any of these annotations, I can actually even add notes on the chart if I want to. And we actually did something kind of cool in notes. If I want to go in here and let's say I want to add a note right here. Well, it's going to put in the price. So if I want to look at, I'm catching a high point or whatever, that's automatically there. But then I can go in and change that to, this was the high, right? And so I can add that in and be able to do that type of thing too. And then so there's a lot of, let me go ahead and keep that clean because I want to do some other things here in a moment. So the chart is a great way to be able to do your analysis the way you want, and you can set it up the way you want. There's a ton of indicators in here that you can add any of these you want to the charting. Right now, this one has just the upper indicators, but if I wanted to throw on, a MACD on this, boom, I can go. By the way, we tell you a little bit about it, tell you what the defaults are, and you can go change in this, but you always have a reference of those defaults. I add that, and bam, now that's in my the chart profile as well. And again, this is all cloud-based, versus these download installs. It's like on different systems. This is all cloud-based. So your settings will follow you wherever you go on this. And there's even things like, how you're going to size the charts. You can see what you want and all that stuff available to you. So this is your charting to set up the way you want. But at the same time, we can provide you with profiles that are set up the way we see things so that you can follow along a lot easier in what we're doing. And it just makes it a lot easier for us to be able to communicate things with you. I know one of the things that they were wanting, just to share one with you here, the parallel channels where we were doing, they wanted to be able to do a quick parallel channel thing like this. And we were able to add this kind of a thing in here where now I can be able to create those in here, and actually don't have enough room to do what I want. So I'm going to move that chart a little bit and go click this and adjust it accordingly. Right. So it's a pretty cool way to be able to work through this. And it has, again, basically, all of the primary tools that we use here at TRADEway to make sure that you have what you need in here to be able to do what you want to do. Even things like the color of the charts and so on are also completely controllable by you. There'll be a default that comes up, but then you can go change in this. In fact, I think my colors are a little bit different than the primary ones. But there's a lot of things in here that you can set for yourself. In fact, one of the things they mentioned, so I'll just show this really quick. There's a whole bunch of different themes available. We have the light theme up here right now, but if you want to go with a darker theme, so that's the way you want to be able to see things, again, go back to that same chart here and you'll see now, it's got all that in that type of theme too. We have several different themes to do to work with this, including a high contrast theme and a dichromacy theme for those with colorblind issues, all that. So we've covered all of that in here. I'm going to go back to the light theme for today. So that's available to you in the charting capability of, the theme thing is everywhere, but the charting capability, very comprehensive in this. And gives you a lot of insight that you can put on here and work with on this, right? But there's little things like, the event flags for when earnings come up, and that, in fact, if you have the chart extended, you'll see it over here as well. Plus, you also see there's several places we warn you within the platform of upcoming earnings if there's one coming up, because we want to make sure that you are aware of those as you're in those trades. So a couple things that I think are really important to highlight here. We mentioned a little bit about the watch list capabilities here, but I just wanted to show you something real quick here. If I go to let me go back to that 30 or less. Actually, let's go to the A+ watch list. So here I have my A+ watch list, and here in the watch tab, you can see there's a lot more data. But so I've got my 52-week high, low, all this stuff. But we also allow you to look at charts in bulk or thumbnail charts. I'm going to change that to a medium-sized chart so we can see a little better. And I'm going to change it to a 3-month chart just to show you how we can do that so quick and easy. And now my whole list, I just go scrolling down through it, and I can go see any of these that do my quick shot analysis on technicals. And then if there's ones that I want to throw over there to research to do a deeper dive on, I can even go click on this little multi-select checkbox, right? And I can go look here real fast to go, I'm just going to pick a few of these here, here. So you can see, I'm just looking for some things with a nice pop uptrend right now. Obviously we've had a little bit of adjustment in the market last few days. And so we see a little bit of some of that, but I just go and select some of these real quick, and then I can take these and we'll stop here with Microsoft. And then I can just take and throw those all over to research. And now I can very quickly go down my list here and be able to look at these and see what's going on. And by the way, something I just want to be clear on is what you're seeing here is this is on, this is our browser-based system. We will have apps for Android and iOS, Apple and Android, for tablet and for phone. We also will have apps available to you for Microsoft Windows and the Mac OS for you to be able to download, and that'll even make it faster. But as you can see here, this is when I go clicking on these, you can see that it changes pretty darn fast through this whole piece. I go back down to my previous stock I was on here, and again, you'll see the trend lines are still there and all that stuff. So it makes it real quick and easy to do your analysis. And the fact that we can do the charts in bulk, this thumbnail charts, makes it even that much quicker to get through your analysis on a day and be able to show you that. Right. So the one of the things I do want to touch on for just a moment here is the score, because it is such a integrated part of the platform. And when we talked about this specific for TRADEway and how they, what we want to do for our analysis, that we wanted to be able to really accommodate that effectively. So here's a couple of things that we have going on. First of all, there is, the technicals, which is one of the, and then the fundamentals, which is both valuation and fundamentals. We broke it out so you have that key ratio separated out. And then, that market tone is a real important piece. Well, there's a couple things about market tone I want to just mention real quick. First of all, you have what's going on with the inner circle, right? So what's the inner circle? Inner circle is insiders, what the insiders of the company are doing. And so you can see what's going on. Now, there's always going to be some insider selling, so not a problem. It's when you start to see cluster selling and so on. So you can see here, we don't have a score, so it's kind of neutral in that right now. But if you start to see a lot of cluster selling, you'll start to see a negative score come up for that. And then this is the institutional ownership. And what we can see here, this is real interesting, because in institutional ownership, we've seen a 9% increase in the institutional ownership over the last quarter. And that's a pretty big move up in that. We also are seeing a lot more buyers. And we're seeing a lot less sellers. So the reason that's green, it's less because there's less people selling, right? So you're seeing a lot of really good institutional activity on this particular stock. But if you want to get even more detailed on it, again, we do this layered thing. I can go click on this, and now I'm into what specific institutions are holding Will Scott Mobile, right? And I can see what this is, and I can even go in at another level here, and I can even see how they've held it over time, what they've got going on with it, how they're adding to the position, and so on. And then the other part of this is you go, well, look, one of the top holders for this is Vanguard. Well, if I want to see what else Vanguard holds, I can click on that, and I can now got Vanguard, and now it's going to bring up all of the stocks that Vanguard has, how many shares they have, and all that stuff. So again, so kind of give you market tone where it is in the institutional thing and all that. But beyond that, we also have some other great elements here to help you out. Under the activity tab, what you'll see here is we have some premium news for you guys. This has been Zynga News. It's one of the most actionable news sources that we have found. So you can see there's not going to be a ton of stories here, but they're actionable stories. Then you've got general news on the stock that, so there's going to be a lot more going on there. And any of these you want to go into more information on, you just click, it's going to bring up the news story for you. And you can go, this one happened to be on Yahoo Finance, and it gives you all this stuff on it, links it right in there for you to be able to do that. We also bring in stock twits. And we also bring in, I know that you guys, we're starting to talk a little more about social and elements on that. Stock twits is a great social place. The other one, of course, is Twitter. The problem is Twitter has way too much noise. So we have this Hash Finance is a company that curates out of Twitter from the proper type of stock, and so does that type of stuff in here as well. So a lot of information for you to be able to follow along or look and do the research on this and be able to really do that. But there's another element here, and by the way, as we're talking about this, let me just show you something, because we're going through this. I decide now that I like this stock and I want to do a trade. And so, we're seeing the chart on this, and, okay, yeah, it's got this right now, but it's kind of got that support. So let's say I'm interested in doing something here. All I have to do, there's tons of places throughout the system to be able to initiate that buy. In this particular case, we're just going to hit the buy button right here. Defaults out for the current price. I could, of course, adjust this however I want to. We'll bring it down just a little bit to 38.50. I'm going to stay with 100 shares, and I'm ready to do this. Now, one of the things they talked about was staging. So I'm just going to show you that really quick. I'm not ready to do this trade. Why? Because I have all this research I can do on all these different stocks. So I'm just going to hit stage. Now you'll see as soon as I hit stage, it shows up here on my chart. Now I could have hit review and place the trade, right? So, but I just want to show you the staging, because it's a very cool piece to this. I now see this on my chart. So I see what my order is. Now you'll see that little dotted line across there. Dotted line means that it's a staged trade at this price, that 38.50. So now as I'm going through and doing my research, I'm checking out the stuff here, looking at different stocks, and I come back to this one, I'm going to immediately see that show up. If I go down to my brokerage section down here, I'm going to see my staged orders right in here. So the flask is research it further. The arrow is like a little play button, is just do the trade, right? But I don't even have to go to that, because I come up here and I see this, it recognizes that we have a staged trade. So there's a trade button up here for you. Right? If there's not a staged trade, if I go to a different stock, you're not going to see that there. That trade button won't be there, because it doesn't, if I want to buy it or sell it, I could do this, but I've already decided my trade. It's just staged, right? So I decide I want to do this. I hit that trade button, brings up the exact trade that we had staged. I can then review that and be able to place that order for you. Now, we mentioned journaling. So I'm just going to mention a piece about this. Trade successfully placed. And now I could add journal notes. Now I'm not going to do that for right now, because
I think we lost you, Rance.
What?
For a second.
You lost me for a second. All right. There we go. All right. Right. I'm back with you now.
Yeah, everything's good now.
All right. So I had that staged order. I hit the trade button. As soon as I hit the trade button, it goes and places that trade. And now you'll notice my 38.50 price point. That's my order. It's no longer a dotted line. It's now a dashed line. As soon as the order fills, it's going to turn to a solid line. So I can immediately see what I'm thinking about, what's in there working for me and what I'm actually in right on the chart. So if you go down your list of stocks that you're in on a particular day, you can see right away what price point you're in it at. If you're in options, it'll show you the strike prices. If it's a buy, it's green. If it's a sell, it's or a short, it's going to be red. You can see it right in there. And now you can see here that this order is out there working for me, right? So a really great way to be able to follow
Grant,
along with
we can place multiple stage trades
you can
too,
trade.
right?
Yeah, I just went through the whole thing on one to show you this. But
Right.
so what I'll tell you what a very common thing is, you go to one of the scans and you go look at this and there's like, 20 stocks in here, but you don't have money to go out in all 20 of them. So you go through and you look at the ones you like. And let's say you found, half of those that you really liked and you put a staged order in. And now you go down your stage list and say, you get to really cherry pick out of those. Right. And then place the ones you want. So you can have as many of those as you want. Now, all right, now it's time to blow you away for a second. How about this? How about if one of the coaches does a trade and when they do the trade, it shows up in your staging for you in the platform, and it'll say next to the source thing here, it'll actually say which coach did it. And if you liked it, all you have to do is hit either research to research it further or the little play button to execute the trade right there. So when they do a trade, and it depends on which class you're in, which path you're in, and you have to be in the path that particular one applies to. But if you are, those trades will just show up for you, and it'll actually, when they do that, it'll have a pop-up notice that says, "Hey, Dave just did this trade," and it's in your staging, and with literally 2 clicks and you can do the same trade. So it's a great way to be able to follow along with what we're doing in an education sense and be able to do this. So that part of this thing is huge in being able to if you're in a particular coach session and they're doing some trades in there and you're able to have those, Dave does a trade and bam, it shows up right in a platform and you can go do the same thing. It's a phenomenal way to be able to do this and be able to follow along with it. So a really, really powerful part of this. And in fact, just to take this a step further, now I'm in my dev system now because I live in my dev system more. So there's a couple colors here you might see a little bit different as we go through it. Just to let you know that I talk about the account. We did actually, let me just show this really quick. If I have a virtual account right now that I'm doing this one in, but if I go here, I can choose from a number of different brokers that you can connect to, a couple different virtual accounts you can use and so on right in here. And by the way, if you do a virtual account, to add a virtual account, it's literally just this is literally that. This is how you add a virtual account. I want to add a virtual account. I'm going to continue. And, then it's going to come up. I've already just added one here, so I want to be careful on that. But it will, add that in and ready to go. So real easy way to be able to make that happen. Now, that said, let me close that tab for a second, come back over here to my my dev system. So this over here on the left-hand side, these are all of the accounts that I have in this platform, right? So it is not insignificant. I have a lot of different ones in here. And I can analyze those one at a time by grouping. I can group my virtuals together, my reels together, all that, and be able to see that. But let me show you what happens here. So here we have I do so much options trading. Almost all of these are going to be options. You know what? It's actually kind of cool to be able to see it. So I'm just going to stay with that here, and show you how it works out. So, because you'll get a little bit more insight too. We're trying to save options for a different session, but let me just go and share a little bit here. What you see here is this is what we call life of trade. So all of these, it'll show you what the strategy was. By the way, this will identify 87 different option strategies, and as well as of course stock strategies, and will automatically label that for you. And there's some really cool elements of what will happen here. So you can see here, shows me my date that I got in, the date that I got out. I was in it for 66 days, and I made $105, or AVGO, I was in it from 713, 8625 days, and I made $187. And if I want more insight to it, all I have to do is click on that. It will open it up and it will show me what my entry was, what the specific was. You can see this is a one lot, a 1-by-1 contract here. And it shows me here, I wrote it through expiration. If I want more insight, I can actually even open up and I can see exactly what what it was filled for and everything. And by the way, you can also add whatever notes you want in here. So you saw that we didn't get journaling in your way to place the trade, but as soon as you place it, there was an opportunity there to add notes. Now, those become real important for improving your trading. But let me just show you something here. Over on this side, what you're seeing is all of the different strategies that I did, all of the different, like here's a chart pattern. This was a scan, by the way, chart pattern, bullish ascending triangle. So on this one, I made $440 on it. So what will happen is if you use a scan to do the trade, to find the trade, it will actually put the scan name. It'll tag the scan name. You'll see here, it's identified it as a bull put. It also identified this as an expiration trade. You can, however, add as many tags as you want. So if I open up my little note button here, I can add as many tags as I want. You can actually even do it this way. Did this as a hashtag demo. If I spell demo right. And now it'll actually pick up, if I save this, you'll see it. And what it'll do is it'll pick up that particular one as a note here. I did a status change here. So let me just go, here we go. Filter. Okay. And so here's that AVGO. And now you can see that it has a bull put and it has demo. And then over on this side, you have every one of your tags, whatever they are. And I'll tell you, I want to get in this, but I'm not today. We have a session coming up on it for those of you using the platform on how to use journaling to get the most out of it. But how you found the trade is something you want to do. So if you found it in Wall Street Journal, or you listening to Mad Money, whatever, you want to tag those things and see if that's working for you, as well as a strategy, right? And it'll show you how many you did, what your win rate is, average days in trade and all that. And then down here at the bottom, it'll show you your total profit, your average profit per trade, how many trades you've done, your win percentage, and so average time in trade. And then there's additional insight into this, including, now this is a cluster of stuff, because these are all the blue dots are my option trades. The yellow diamonds are my stock trades. So every one of these represent a trade. You can hover on it. You can see exactly what the trade was, what you made on it, and so on. And we even have insight on, how your portfolio grows over time, your win losses and what's going on there, both win loss ratios and percent in dollar, and all the stuff for you to give you this insight. I will tell you, out of everything out there, that everything in the platform, the thing that will improve your trading the most is the journal. It is so powerful because it gives you insight as to what's working and what's not working, what you need to improve on, what you've got, what you've got down, right? And so, if all you did was stop doing what's not working and did more of what is working, you're going to make more money. But the thing is, then you can take what's not working and go back, relearn it, find out what, how you adjust the rules on what you're doing and practice it in a virtual account with no risk. And then when you're getting the results, move it back over to real trading. But not only can you do that, I feel like one of those Ginsu knife sale, but there's more, because not only that, for all of the accounts that you, if you're following a coach, if you're setting, if you're in, one of the coach sessions and they're providing you with that shared portfolio, you'll also be able to see those in here, and you'll be able to see all of the trades that are in that portfolio from them. So not just when there's a current trade that happens, but you'll be able to see what this is right there live in real time when it happens, and be able to go back in and see what's happened in the past. So it is a phenomenal way. Not only do we manage watch lists for you, not only do we create your chart profiles for you, not only do we do trading and send you examples, trade examples through that staging that you can see in real time, we actually then let you see these portfolios over time to be able to see what's happened. And you can actually even go into one of these that you've closed out and throw it into a back test mode to be able to see it. I'm not going to go into back testing today other than to say we have it, but we could throw it into a back test mode and, kind of, armchair quarterback analyze what happened with that particular trade. So it's a phenomenal way to not only see what you're doing and how your results are going, but also be able to see how, be able to follow along with the coaches, be able to follow along with, certain classes in that, and be able to follow, exactly what's going on. So it is a really powerful element of that, to be able to help you, guide you, and help guide you along that learning path, and be able to see not just oh, here's information on how to do it, but be able to see it being done for you, so you can follow right along with that. So with that, there's a couple final points I want to mention real quick. We're going to turn this back over. There's a lot you can see here in the platform. I want to mention scans here for just a second. And wrong platform. That was my, let me see here. Scans over here. And what we have in the scans is, so if you look at this here, if you're in the Precision Pro group, there is the power spreads, there's the sharpshooter, the outlaw, if you're in the online, the Trader Max or Trader Pro study groups, you also have the active trader and the insider roundup. And these will have in it the stocks that we're looking at right now in those particular areas for you to be able to take action on. So whichever groups you're in, whatever membership you have, whatever study groups you're in, whichever the Precision Pro you have, they will automatically be in the platform for you to be able to see these and be able to work with it. So, here's our power spreads, and there's right now today, there's 2 of them in here. If I want to go do my analysis on it, bam, I can go over here and do this and, go in and take a look at it. But on top of that, we also have, and this is in the elite version, but I want you to see this because it's so cool. We have our trade finder scans. So if I go in here and look at this, here's, I'm jumping options slightly, but I'm going to just slightly because of the time today. But so if you look at this, here's my bull puts. There's 9 today. It shows you the expiration date, the long, the short, the credit you should take in, the percentage return you can get. And if I click on this, it'll take me right into this stock. And here is the strategy lined up for me, right? So you can see here, I'm going to save this part for later, but you can see where it's at, where the stock is, where your profit zones are, all that stuff ready to go. If you like the trade, it's a simple click and done. So I'm going to save options for a future session because we could do a whole thing just on options. We have things on how you can adjust an existing trade. We have things that you can do to how to manage a trade through the process. We have all of these templates for being able to do specific strategies, all that. There is a tremendous amount in here for this. And one of the things about that, back to that portfolio piece for just a second, in the journal, and this is something that I have not seen, quite honestly, anywhere else that does this to the extent that we do. But if you're in, let's just take a simple covered call. If I'm in a covered call and I expires this month, I sell the next month, that month expires, the next month I get called out, but I jump right back in it, or I'm in the money a little bit, I need to roll it. All of those are stacked together. Each one of those, you can see your profitability on each move, but in the life of trade mode, it keeps track of the collective. And that's something that's really hard to find anything out there that does that effectively, to keep track of your adjusted cost basis through the entire life of the trade. We do that very effectively within Charts by TRADEway. So, and I really look forward, you guys will see when I get into the options piece of this, it is one of my passions. So a little teaser for an upcoming one on options going on. So with that, we're going to turn it back over to Dave and team to pick up from there. But we are so excited about being able to share this with you. We have done a tremendous amount of work in the background here to get this lined up so that it is not just a research platform, but it also has trading integrated with it, with a number of different brokerage firms, more coming on. And on top of that, where we can share with you our lists, our trades, our scans, all of that within the platform. One of the things I didn't mention was that there is also a screener with 200 different data points you can have in here, and we'll have some system screeners in here for you too, that you can use as a starting point and work through further and all that, that we'll be able to have in there. So the fact that this has been designed not only to be a research platform and trading platform, but also work hand in glove with your education path through TRADEway, and where we can be providing information to you in real time in the platform as you go through your education path and beyond, when you're with us on an ongoing basis with trading, and have that available to you. So with that, we'll kick it back over to the team here and see if we have any questions and we want to go through.
Rance, really quick before, sorry, I didn't get there quick enough. If you wouldn't mind sharing your screen one more time, would you mind showing us really quick? Because this is actually really cool. Once you guys start getting into the platform, going through it, you're going to have some questions, obviously. Rance, can you show us really quick? They can actually open up a support ticket right there within the platform.
Yes,
So
actually, two things I want to show them on that so that they know
Yes.
that. First of all, we are going to do a series, ongoing series of live webinars where we do ongoing trainings on the platform and all that. So that will be happening as well. Not only that, there is an extensive help center built right within the platform. As you saw up there, it says the help center here, and I can launch the help center in that. And in that, you've got a lot of stuff in here, from user guides to quick guides, which are screenshots with all these little call out arrows on it. There's an extensive video library that is in here as well, that you can go to. And in the video library, we've got some like full trainings, but then we also have these topic specific trainings that, if I want to just get into charting or, how to understand the score, whatever. So that it's topic specific or full length trainings. There's even one on mobile and all that available. But besides that, if you have a question, you have something that you need some help on, right in your, actually it's in both places here. I can go back to this support ticket, click on this, and any question you have, kick us a support ticket on it. In fact, actually we even have in here where you want, here's your support ticket. You can also give us feedback or a feature request. You can also let us know about that. And our turnaround times for the support tickets are very quick, and track through that. There's also an email that you'll be getting that you can just send us an email question. I believe it's going to be charts@tradeway.com. But we'll get that to you, and you can send us questions that way as well, and we'll be able to reply. So it is a complete support system behind this to help you get the most out of this. And one of the things that's kind of hard to really show in a brief demo, because there's so much coming at you so quick. One of the things that I think is brilliant about this platform is how we made complex things easy to understand. And we do that by building in a workflow. We do that by providing you dynamic content of what we're looking at, of our lists and trades and the scans and all that stuff. We also do it through the support system that we have, whether that be the live webinars. We also do weekly office hours where it's a free form question answer session. We do a couple of those every week, and of course the live trainings as well. So we got your back all the way through this to help you get the most out of this, because the more you get out of this, the more you're going to get out of your trading.
Thank you so much for walking us through that, Rance. He just hit some of the high points that I was about to follow up with, and that is, this was a very quick, high-level overview of some of the biggest, best, options within the platform. But this isn't it, guys. We're not leaving it here. We're going to have follow-up webinars. We're going to be having follow-up demos, and I'm actually going to reshare my screen really quick and walk you guys through a couple of things. But guys, listen. beyond this launch webinar here, for those of you who are a part of online study groups, for those of you out there, whether you're a Top Gun or a member and you're on all the market corners, if you have access to live trading hours, catch those in the coming days and the coming week, because Rance and his team are going to be on those with our coaches. So you'll be able to see our coaches use this platform for the first time in action on those specific webinars, but Rance and his team are going to be co-hosting as well. And that starts on this week's Market Corners.
Yeah, can I throw in one other piece? I just want to mention, I'm not going to go showing it, but I just want to mention it real quick. I talked about the portfolios sharing and how coaches, when they do trades, you can see and all that. There's actually even the capability for you to share your portfolio back with a coach so that they can, instead of you sending over your last 10 trades, like was mentioned earlier, that you'll actually be able to share a portfolio with a coach, and they can look at it and give you feedback. Again, it's private share just between you and that coach, and they can only see the journal part of this. They don't have access to your brokerage account, any of that stuff, but at least they can see how you're progressing, what's going on, and help you be able to improve in that way as well. So the journaling, again, is just a massive piece of helping you be able to improve in just a number of ways. So.
Well, Rance, I think you are officially everyone's hero at this point. Based on the feedback I'm seeing in the chat, the excitement I don't think could be any higher, and the demo was fantastic. And by the way, guys, speaking of demo, so like I mentioned, this week's Market Corners, tomorrow, the live trading hours coming up, and then the study groups, Rance and team are going to be on those. But next week, we're going to be doing a very special 2-hour coaching online study group. So you guys know, we have our coaching study group. We've had it for years, normally an hour. We're extending it to 2 hours. And for the first full hour of that, Rance is going to do another demo of the full platform going into the regular coaching study group. So guys, be sure to join those if you're able to, the end of this week and next week. And with that being said, I also want to walk you guys through something really quick. So I'm going to slow down for a second. I want you guys to just, you've seen the demo, you've seen the platform. So now, starting to think about implementing it for yourselves for the first time. Like I mentioned, our legacy members, you guys are going to be the first ones that we onboard. We're going to be onboard. If you are a legacy member right now, we're going to be onboarding you guys first this week, and you guys are going to have full access to the platform for the entire calendar year of 2022. Now, let me give you guys a quick snapshot of other options beyond that. So later this week, for those of you who are not currently a member with us yet, if you're not part of the legacy memberships, we're going to have some different options for you guys that aren't there yet that we're going to be rolling out within the next couple of days, and you'll have access to them. The first one is you will be able to sign up for the charting platform a la carte, just like you would with other charting platforms. If you have the education under your belt that you feel like is just right for you already, but you want to incorporate the charts, you will have the ability to get either the basic or the elite plan for charts a la carte. And for those of you who are not currently a legacy member, but want the full-blown membership, all of the mentorship, all of the coaching support that comes with our memberships, the charting platform is going to be included in our memberships as of this week. So those are some options for you guys. Now, listen, there is actually a brochure that you guys have in your chat box. In fact, I'm going to send it in right now. Go click on that. It's in the chat box. And that brochure is going to break down exactly what you see on your screen here. It's going to show you what is included in basic charts. It's going to show you the price plans, whether you're going to be going a la carte or which memberships it is included in. So you have your basic plans there. You also have the elite charts. And Rance showed us some specific components of just the elite charts as well. So click on that brochure that is in your chat box. It'll have everything you see on your screen here. You can print it off. You can have it on your desktop. If you are a Trader Max or Trader Pro member, elite charts is included. If you want to do it a la carte, you're going to have that option later this week as well. So just keep that in mind, guys, because those are going to be your options kind of as we move forward. So again, one last reminder, this isn't it. We're going to continue to walk you guys through the platform on further webinars, further demos. They are all coming as soon as the end of this week. Tomorrow on our market corners is when they begin, as well as our study groups next week, our market corners next week. So Rance will be able to continue the discussion here, go into the options that he mentioned he is so passionate about. There are really cool options capabilities within the platform we haven't even showed you guys yet. So you're going to continue to get help from us. You're going to literally be able to send a support ticket directly to our developers. You can also reach out to us in the office as well if you have questions. You're going to be getting follow-up webinars. We're going to be there for you guys. So, and by the way, it starts with getting the recording for this launch webinar. So if you want to rewatch anything that we've covered today, we're going to be sending the recording out to you guys as well, so you can watch any of it. So I just want to give a quick personal thanks to all of our coaches who have been on with us, who have been in the back, answering y'all's questions, building some excitement. Of course, Rance's team, Lori and Steve, have been in the back. Rance himself for the full demo. I don't think this could have gone any better in terms of giving you guys just a great. What's funny is as you guys can tell, with everything that Rance wants to show us, I mean, this is kind of the tip of the iceberg, yet it's still so robust, everything that we've already seen. And so it'll obviously spill over into more demos. And of course, for those of you who we are onboarding this week, you're going to be getting tutorials. Rance showed you guys the help center with user guides, with tutorials. So as excited as you guys are, even if any of you have any sense of overwhelm, that is perfectly normal. I mean, it is a new platform. Every platform that you've ever used before, there was a learning curve to that too. That will come into play with this. However, the big difference is you guys have us. You guys have the TRADEway team, and you have Rance's team, who is an extension of us. Literally, all of us are here to support you guys as you learn this platform. So it's going to be a different experience than you've ever had before. I believe the best experience that you've ever had in terms of a platform. And certainly that is true in terms of integrating with your TRADEway education, guys. So again, I can't thank you enough, Rance. I can't thank the coaches enough for being on. And I believe we have run out the clock. Of course, any questions that have gone unanswered that are in the chat or the Q&A, just follow it up with us. We'll get it answered for you. We'll answer your questions. We'll be sending you follow-up emails. And don't forget, if you're a legacy member, you were a first mover with us this past month. And because of that, you were the first ones that will be onboarded this week with Charts by TRADEway. So can't thank you guys enough. Thank you again, Rance and team and all of our coaches. This has been an absolute blast. We'll be getting the recording out to you guys shortly. With that being said, we're going to sign off, and we cannot wait to continue this journey with you all. Have a good one, and we will see you next time.